Hey man, Hebron Ben Malal, man, coming back at you with another edition of this Boomer's Logic, man. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Diane Tiger, something like that. She commented on my last video, and this is why I came back to make this follow-up video, based upon the comment that she made, and just to kind of elaborate on my last video, take it into a little more detail. But before I do that, man, y'all know what to do, man. If you haven't already, man, go to the page, YouTube channel, subscribe, man, hit the bell for notifications, and also, man, get the thing a thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like my content. Whether you do, you don't, start making putting some comments out there for me, man, so I can, kind of, something you want me to touch on, something you want me to talk about, throw it out there. But for the most part, I just go off the top of my head, based upon things that I see, interactions I have on a daily basis on this channel, man. But Miss Diane, she said, she made a comment. Now, I'm not sure if she's black, white. I don't know her nationality, her religious I don't know. But she made a comment in regard to the video that I made earlier, the one where I talked about the destructiveness of these young Israelites out here today and how they need Torah in their life and why they need it. Why they need Torah governing them. And the comment she made, she asked me why did I point out nationality, or why am I speaking basically on race? No, race. She said, why did you target a race? Why are you talking about race? She talked about how Jesus never did that. And I'm not going to get into that about Jesus not doing it or doing it. And once again, I don't know if this woman is black or white. And this was the comment that she made. If you want to see the comment in its fullness and the full comment, just go to the page, look it up, and that's the comment she made. I'm not exactly where she was going with it, but I'm going to make my own conclusion. But first, I want to tell you a story. A little story time for you. So most of y'all know that I was in the joint, man. And when I was in the joint, I worked in the kitchen most of my time. So kind of climbed up the ranks in the kitchen, became the head of the kitchen, the number one in the kitchen, used to do all the ordering and all that type of stuff. I was the number one guy over the kitchen in USP Atlanta. So this is one thing that I told the black guys in the kitchen, and I'm gonna use that term again, and I'm gonna get to that in a second, that I told the black guys in the kitchen. I told the black guys, I said, check this out. I said, first and foremost, we have control over the kitchen again, because for a while, it was a white guy who was in control, and I'm about to make a point. It was a white guy who was in control of the kitchen. He was the number one. A guy named Rusty. Rusty was cool, though. But Rusty looked out for his own people, as we all should, but I'm about to make a point. So Rusty would hire all the white dudes for all the most important places, the freezers, the warehouses, the docks, all of that, because he had his network of illegalities set up. And this way he brought all his people in, the people that looked like him. He had his boss hire all his people and put them in all the most important parts, make them the number ones, and they ran the kitchen. So once Rusty left, I was put into that place power. And the first thing I did, I had a powwow with all the blacks. And I told them, I said, yo, check this out, dig this. We got the power back. We had the kitchen back. I'm the number one over the kitchen. Now, I want to set up brothers in all the good major spots, all the best spots, and we're going to have control over the kitchen. I said, if we don't do this, trust me, every area where a different nationality gains a foothold, they're going to bring their people in, and they're going to lock that area down. And then we're going to have to negotiate. Even though I'm the number one, they'll have to go through me, but we're still going to have to negotiate with these people because they have those areas, right? So, of course, black people didn't do it. They wanted to do their own things. They had their own cliques, crews, gangs, all that, et cetera, et cetera. So we didn't want to do that. But lo and behold, just like I told them, first it was the Mexicans, because the Mexicans started gaining numbers in the kitchen. So once they got a lot of prime positions, they started bringing all of the Mexicans into the kitchen, and they started positioning them in all the prime places. Then you had the white boys who were bringing other white boys in and positioning them in all other prime positions. training them to take over their spots once they left, so on and so on, et cetera, et cetera. So this is what was going on. This is what was happening. But us as blacks, we couldn't get on the same page because we all want to be the top dog. We want to be the shot caller. We want to be the one that runs the show. If it ain't me, I ain't listening. I'm going to do it my way. That's what it's going to be. So what I went and ended up doing, since the blacks didn't want to adhere to what I did, what I was trying to explain to them and express to them, and the kitchen started being divvied up between different nationalities, different groups, because they refused to join into this movement and lock down as a group of people this particular place where all the commerce had to come through. Everything came through the kitchen, and we could lock it down. But they didn't want that, once again, because they weren't in charge. This is pretty much what it boiled down to. So what I did was, every Israelite who came on that compound, I did not care what camp, clique, crew, if they got off, they was observing Shabbat, they were Israelites, they look, brother, yes, shalom, I'm an Israelite, that whoop. Come on, brother, you want a job in the kitchen? And I started positioning all the Israelites. So pretty soon the Israelites had a lot of choice jobs down there, and they had positions down there. I had been in this institution where long enough to the point where I could take Israelites wherever they wanted to go on that compound and get them jobs. But I told them, look, you want to be in the kitchen. Everything goes on in the kitchen, whatever you want to eat, you know what I'm saying, whatever you like to do, it's here in the kitchen. So, of course, the Israelites adhered to what I was telling them, came on board, got them wherever they wanted to be. So what is my point here? My point here is starting first with what the young lady said. The young lady talked about, I brought up race. Why am I talking about a race and this and this and this? First and foremost, being an Israelite is not a race. It is a nationality. There's no such thing as a Hebrew Israelite race of people. It's a nationality that derives from our patriarch Abraham. This is where it started. Abraham wasn't born and there's a whole nother race. No, he was him, and it trickled down through him to the 12 tribes. I could give you a history lesson, but I'm just going to give you a quick summarization of what it is. Short synopsis. It started from one man and a promise that was made to him and his heirs after him. And this is where we come into play. We're a nationality. We're not a race. So, number two, the reason I said that is because of the fact that we as Israelites, and I'm talking about these ones who are pre-conscious, because those blacks who are here in this nation, unwillingly in this nation, who were brought over here in chains and on boats, I believe those individuals derive from the loins of Abraham as well. So I do not exclude them when I talk about the nation of Israel. So when I talk about these particular individuals, I include me and other Israelites, whether they're pre-conscious or they are conscious to the fact that they're Israel. They're Israelites. I don't care if they're sitting in a church on Sunday. They're Israelites. Whether they reject it and say, well, I ain't designed, I'm not there to try to convince them of what they are, what is inside of their DNA. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to just pass along information. So when I talk about a nationality of people, not a race, a nationality of people, I talk about my people. See, here's the problem. Here's the problem with us as Israelites and with this statement that this young lady made, because once again, I don't know if she's black or white, but see, here's the issue. Israel is always trying to go to another nationality, mainly being the European, to try to fix their issues for them. The reason I spoke about Torah and our young men and women and singled them out is because Torah was given to us first. Yes, the Gentiles was grafted in later. I don't have a problem with that, but some Israelites do. I don't have a problem with them having a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's just my particular doctrine or philosophy, opinion, theory in regard to the Gentiles that they can be grafted in. But to us was given the oracles of Yahweh, those commandments. And this is why I'm telling you. So if you don't, and once again, you're probably a Christian or you adhere to the Bible because you brought this up. Because understand what Paul said. And for those brothers who don't adhere to the writings of Rabbi Shaul or Paul, hear me out for a second. He said in Romans chapter 3, 1 and 2 and 3, he said, what advantage of it, what advantage is it for the Jew? And he said, much, because to them were given the oracles of Yahweh. I've told you this before. To them, the Hebrews, were given the oracles. So when I talk about an out of control body of people who need governing and that this is the only thing that can govern them, that's what I mean. I don't run out and try to tell the Europeans how to, how you quell mass shootings in your schools, and because I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Jimmy. I don't know what's going on with Billy, but I know what the hell going on with Malik. I know why they acting like this. I can't tell you what's going on with Susie and Samantha up there. I don't know why they doing that stuff. I can't even advise you in what I really can't. So when I make separations, it's because Yah first himself made the separation. He said, you are my people. From the loins of Abraham is where we derived. So when I make a declaration and I talk about a certain group of people, it doesn't have anything to do with racism. But the reason I told you that particular story at the beginning is because every national, I don't care if you sit up in a church and you preach Jesus every damn week. Every nationality of people is going to look out for their people first. You can sit there and scream that you got, oh no, there's no Jew nor Greek nor Gentile and man, listen, that's why your church is lily white. This is why you don't have any dark-skinned people in the pew. You probably got a smattering of them. Few or maybe one or two. But see, in your communities, the thing is, you don't care if that dude is a Catholic and you're a Protestant. You're still going to go to his aid if he needs you. Y'all have very tight-knit communities. Those are y'all communities. Y'all govern them a certain way. But see, my issue, the issue I derive from all of this and from the statement that she made is that it always seems that there's an insinuation of racism when somebody comes on here and gives an opinion about their people. But when you all speak of your communities, you mean your communities. Yeah, you mean exactly what you're saying, your community. I don't have a problem with Buckhead being lily white. I don't have a problem with the north side of Columbus. Everywhere I go up here is lily white. I don't have a problem with that. That's y'all communities. And I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with going to certain sides of the city, Atlanta, Columbus, Georgia, wherever, and it's all Mexican. I'm fine with that. Cater to your own. I don't care. I'm not screaming foul. I'm not screaming racism. I understand and believe in that. Look out for your own first. Look out for those in your backyard first. My issue, once again, is that I derive an issue with these young brothers and sisters out here cutting a fool, acting a nut, doing all this debauchery, foolishness in these streets. And then as soon as something happened to them, they want to scream foul. I got a problem with that. Because you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. You're out here jumping on police cars, you're out here shooting up the town, you're out here doing it. And when something happens to you, the first thing your mama want to do is get on the TV and scream how good of a kid you were. Come on, man, we got to stop. And I'm not even talking about we got to do better. I'm not even getting on that. But we do need a better remedy to the problem. Your prisons, your rules, your laws, and I'm talking to you, Diane. If you are a white woman, this is why I'm telling you this. These rules, these laws, you can sit there and quote scripture all day and say, well, Jesus is the way, the truth, and life, and that's cool. I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, there is not nothing that's going to get these young Hebrews, Negroes, whatever you want to call them, back in line. The only thing that's going to get them back in line is I'm telling you right now, you can stuff your prisons full with them, but the next generation just gonna be just as bad. See, your rules and your regulations cannot govern us. I'm gonna tell you again, it don't matter how oh, I don't believe that, but you're not black. You're not a Hebrew. So you would never understand. This is why Yah said you are a stiff-necked, hard-headed people. You need to be governed like this. All that other stuff, you know, don't follow that because you're going to cut a fool. In order to govern us, we have to be under the restraints of Torah. Because we will cut up this lackadaisical prison judicial system y'all got. Man, listen. I've been out of that junk 4 or 5 times. Only reason that I rehabilitated myself because the system don't rehabilitate you. Let me be the first to tell you, system don't rehabilitate you. I had to rehabilitate me. I had to come to the point where I got tired of disappointing myself first, leaving my loved ones out here, and just continuing to lose everything, go back in to have to regain it when I came out. This is why I rehabilitated myself. Ain't nothing behind them gates and fences gonna make somebody rehabilitate themselves. Nothing. It don't scare nobody. So once again, I'm gonna tell you, without Israelites, without the immediate thought that, man, if I do that, I'm gonna be hanging up by my neck in the middle of town, man. Dead, disco dead. These cats are gonna kill me. And they have the right to because the law says it's because your rules, there's only, I think it's only 3 crimes on the book that hold the death penalty. That's premeditated murder. No, that's murder, premeditated murder, and treason. I think treason is the only other one that's on y'all books. But there's a lot of them in regard to Israel. Because Yahweh understood how hard-headed and stiff-necked we are as a people. So if you want to make this racial, we can. I don't have a problem with that either. And I'm going to say the same thing about my people when it comes to, if you want to say, well, the black race, I don't care. I'll say that. I can say that too. I'll take the nationality part and push it out the way and say the race of Israel needs to be brought under the restraints of Torah. If not, you're going to see in this next generation, that next generation, y'all going to be, y'all Americans going to be like, y'all Europeans going to be like the Egyptians, begging whoever, man, get them and get them the hell out of here. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. And all y'all can do is talk. Y'all can't figure it out. Y'all call it mental illness. Y'all call it this. Y'all call it that. And I just sit back and laugh because it ain't none of that. It's none of that. It's not a mental illness. They just cut up. Look at them. They beautiful though. But they cut up. That's what they do. Y'all can't govern them. Y'all don't have the mind or the understanding to govern those people. Y'all don't. So if you want to make it a race thing, that's fine. I'm fine with that. You can make it a race thing. But what I'm telling you is that your nationality can't govern them. They're never going to respect you and listen to you. But the thing that pisses me off the most about our people is, number one, they cutting a fool. Number two, they always going to others instead of seeking the source for an answer for this behavior. You can start all the Pan-African, back to Egypt, back to wherever movements. Ain't none of that gonna change. These cats, they Hebrew. And only we as Hebrews can look and laugh and say, yeah. Now, if we had the ability, if we were given, I'm talking about if us as Hebrews, us, the elder men of Israel, were given the ability by this government, listen, give us 3 years. Yeah, give us 3 years. Y'all turn your back, give us 3 years. Yes, sir, we'll have it in check. But see, y'all don't do that. Y'all remind me of prison when the woman took over the institution. and she came in and she removed all the shot callers, the strong men. She removed them out of the prison, locked them up, and sent them to other prisons. And that allowed the inmates to run the asylum. Even though we were the inmates running the asylum, it was the strong elder shot callers, the dudes who had been through prison for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, put in that work, slang that blade, fought 5, 6 guys that had serious major reputations that made the others respect and do exactly what it was they were supposed to do. But once they were pulled out, this is what you had. You had the same stuff in USP Atlanta. So I sit back and I watch it and I laugh. And I say, this is the same thing, because what this system does, it removes those alphas. It removes those individuals who demand that these youngsters act like they got some sense. It removes them. And then it says, go ahead, because they know what's going to happen. But y'all sit on the side and y'all say, well, we need to fast and pray. They need to come to Christ. No, they need to get under Torah. They need a head busting. That's what they need. This is why Yah gave us that. This is why the book says you're stiff-necked people, Israel. So you can make it racist. I'm not messed up with that at all. Because Yahweh is the one who said, this is what you all need. This is why I spoke about that nationality, people. I can't speak about your nationality once again, because I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know why they're shooting up schools. I don't know. I can't speak on them. But I can speak on them because I am them. They derive from me. So I can look at them and say, they doing exactly what they supposed to do without elders over them. But this is how this society wants them. So anyway, man, I digress, man. And as always, man, Hebron Ben Bilal coming back with this heat on this Boomer Logic. But let me say this to you. Man, if you want to make a comment, leave a comment down in the comment section, man. And I'm getting ready to start calling out one of these rabbis, and he knows who I'm talking about, Ephraim. Yeah, I'm getting ready to start calling them out, man. And they're gonna have to start putting some videos out, man, and start to teach Israel, you know what I'm saying, how to conduct themselves and things of that nature. But I love y'all, man. And I will respond, man. If you put a comment in the comment section, I'll respond to it. You know what I'm saying? But I just want y'all to understand that I'm an Israelite first before anything. I'm an Israelite first before anything. And the one thing you're never going to see me do, you're never going to see me bash other brothers. You all our issues and anything I might have against a brother will be handled in closet, in-house. It ain't gonna be aired out for the world to see. That ain't how Israel's supposed to get down. We supposed to reprimand each other as a nation like brothers. We ain't supposed to be all up on here throwing each other under the bus and all that type of stuff, man. So don't expect that. But man, I love it. Love y'all. Thank you for another opportunity, man. And if you haven't already, man, hit the bell for notifications and subscribe. As I always say at the conclusion of this, Hebron Ben Bilal come back at you, man, giving more wisdom and logic and knowledge to that boomer generation. And of course, the millennials, I just had to tell you how to think again, because you don't know how to think, but I did just give you the opinion. Love y'all, man. I'll talk to y'all next time.